Good stuff. Okay, so this is going to be recorded. So if you miss it again, you can watch it back. So for everyone that hasn't met me, my name's James. Great to meet you all. If I haven't met you before, I'm the digital marketing strategist here at Realty. My background's in digital marketing. For the last 10 years, I've worked in marketing. I've had my own agency. I've worked for agencies. I'm working full-time for Realty to help you guys out, ultimately list more properties and make more money. Today, we're talking about Google Ads. I did a webinar about a month ago, or December, about lead generation, which is going really well for agents. We've got about 45 agents now doing that, so it's great to see so many people picked up on lead gen. Now we're doing Google Ads. It's something I've been doing at Realty since I started here. You guys might have seen some Google Ads floating around on websites about at Realty. That's all my doing, and now we're offering it to our agents. So what I'm going to talk about today is basically what Google Ads are. I'm going to show you some results for some agents we're doing it for already. And then I'm going to show you how you can use Google Ads in your own. And if I just pause, I'm getting notifications of people joining late. So thank you for those who have joined late. I'll ask you to sit to the back of the room and you'll be doing lines for half an hour after this presentation's finished. So thank you and welcome to those joining late. You've thrown me off my chat. Anyway, welcome along for those late people as well. So I'm going to tell you at the very end how you can use Google Ads. This isn't going to be a technical walkthrough of how to run Google Ads yourself. Google is a little bit more of a technical platform. There's loads of tutorials online if you guys do want to learn this. What I'm more trying to do is explain how you can use Google Ads, the different types of Google Ads you can use as real estate agents, and then what I can provide for you guys as a service, okay? So everything I do today, we don't make any money from it. It's just a service we provide to you guys. And if you want to take it out, you basically just pay for the ad spend, and then we run these ads on your behalf, okay? So this isn't so much a sales pitch. It's more so just this is the platform we can provide, and this is some options and ideas you can go out and do it yourself if you like as well. So some facts we know about Google Ads and just about Google in general. It's obviously the biggest search engine in the world. Active Pipe did a really good survey last year of 124 property owners, just understanding their buyer and seller journey. I reference this survey all the time because it's the most up-to-date survey. 91% of people said they use Google. Okay, so we know Google's the main search engine. It's a synonymous for now for searching things online. We all Google on a regular basis. I'd probably say we almost Google things on a daily basis, okay? So we know that it's the most used search engine. The word real estate is Googled 3.3 million times a month in Australia. Million times, crazy amount, right? The word real estate agent alone is searched 22,000 times a month. Just that word real estate agent. So it's a lot of people actively going on Google and trying to find either an agent, someone to sell, where to sell. It's the first place we go, all right? And we can basically manipulate where the traffic goes with this. So that same survey from Active Pipe showed that 59% of people researched their agent online before they used them. Now, whether that was searching their name, searching their social media details, or just searching the agent in general, right? We know people search online to find their real estate agent. That's the number one place they find an agent. The second place is just going with the agency. I'll type that to the agency. Third place is they visit local listings to see what else is selling in the area. And then the third is speaking to family and friends. Okay, so we know a huge amount of people, the majority of people will find their agents online. So it's really important we have a strong online presence. It's half the reason Realty brought me on board is to make sure your online presence is as good as they can be, to make sure you're cutting through the noise of a really, really competitive space here in Australia right now in real estate. We also know that sellers are looking for agents much sooner and much longer. There's so many more choices online. So on average, 2 months is the span of of vendors looking for a real estate agent. Okay, so that might be when they search. They first Google a real estate agent. It might be when they start talking to locals about finding a real estate agent. So we've got about a 2-month window to try and get that listing. Sometimes it happens quicker. Sometimes it might be a quick phone call. Yep, looking to sell my house. Can you come over next week? But from the stats, it's about a 2-month window. So we've got a 2-month window to advertise to people, showing them, letting people know your service and why they should choose you to sell their home and not the 10 other agents that are in your area. Now, these are some of the biggest companies in Australia that utilize Google Ads, and these are the companies we're basically up against as far as bidding goes, okay? Google's very much a supply and demand platform. We basically bid on keywords and bid on different banners and placements, and I'll go into detail of that later. But basically their business models, besides Domain and LJ Hooker, are predominantly from Google. You would have seen some of these websites, OpenAgent, Rate My Agent, most of their traffic all comes from Google. OpenAgent, one of the biggest spenders of Google ads, usually they'll be at the very top of Google. Okay, so if you type in best real estate agent in your city, OpenAgent are most likely going to be at the top. They've got huge marketing budgets, and their whole business model is run a Google ad, send traffic to their website, allocate that to a local agent, and then charge the agent a cut. Okay, so we're basically trying to cut out all these companies that are charging agents to send traffic from Google. We're cutting out that person and getting you guys where their ads are. Okay, Property Now, On Property, Upside, same thing. These are all websites that have a huge Google presence, big marketing budget. So we most likely won't be outbidding them, but we can get within, the 2-3 ranks of a lot of these websites. And there's also other strategies we can do where we actually can outbid a lot of these companies. But you can see here the traffic is absolutely huge. 600,000 monthly views to LJ Hooker. OpenAgent's got 150,000 views per month. So huge amount of traffic is coming off Google, right? So we know people are on Google and they're searching real estate agents. I'm giving you guys the opportunity to get your name and your business up there so we can start getting a piece of that traffic. So what do I mean when I say traffic? Search terms. There's basically two types of Google ads I'm going to be talking about today. There's banner ads and there's search ads. This is called a search ad, right? So you've obviously searched before, real estate agent. You'll see 4 ads usually at the top. Local agent finder, I Create, Buyers, and Smith & Co. Realty. This is just a screenshot from Surfers Paradise. Based on your location where you Google is going to determine what ad you're shown and also what keywords you're shown. So this is what's called a keyword. Real estate agent, that's one keyword. So as we can see, local agent finder at the top, which means they're spending the most money to get that placement, followed by I Create, Buyers, and Smith & Co. It might be a difference between a few cents. Local agent finder might be spending, say, $1.50 to get there, followed by $1.20, $1.10, maybe Smith & Co. are spending $1. Okay, so it's a supply and demand issue. We can still get top 4, top 5 ranking. We don't have to spend the most. Local agent finder, I don't know what the budget they're paying, but in all the searches, they're usually at the top. So it's assumed that they're obviously spending the most money. We can get a bit more specific with the searches. We can say real estate agent Pacific Pines or your suburb, and you can see it completely changes the ads that are shown. Open agents now at the top, followed by local agent finder, which real estate agent, and then our smaller agency down there, Ball Real Estate or Ball Realty Pacific Pines, they're on there as well. So depending on where you guys are, I advise you to, when you're finished this podcast, jump online, see what your competition is, see who else is running ads, and we're going to be trying to outbid them to get your ads to the top of Google. That's called a search ad. So we're basically controlling what people see when they first search Google. And this is done through keywords, which is what I showed you guys. Okay, so this is a keyword here. So when I talk about keywords, that's what we're talking about. And we're bidding on those keywords. So when someone types in a certain word, say best real estate agent, Gympie, or agents near me, or Ray White, these are all keywords we can bid on. We're then sending that traffic to a website in which then they'll make a decision if they want to utilize your product. My background was in e-commerce, and so we made hundreds of thousands of dollars by bidding on the right keywords, sending people to the website that then make a purchase, and then we'd convert from there. Obviously, we're not selling products online, so we're trying to get people to your website where you've got your sold listed properties, about me section, enough information to warrant someone to give you a call, or at the very least, we can retarget someone after they've been on your website. You probably heard the word pixel thrown around. So what a pixel is when someone goes to your website, a pixel is put on their computer so that when they leave your website, we can then retarget to them later on. The best example is when you say go buying for a pair of shoes. Maybe your wife's bought a pair of shoes, and you'll go to the website and you'll have a look at some shoes and you think, I'm not going to buy that pair of shoes now, I'll come back to it. And then what do you see for the next week? You see shoes. That's called retargeting, and we can do that with you guys too. So once we send traffic to your website, we can then retarget them around for the next week, 2 weeks to say, hey, have you remembered so-and-so real estate agent? Well, he's still here. Check him out when you're ready. It's great brand awareness, and we know it takes 4 or 5 touch points for something to be memorized in someone's long-term brain for a long term. So the cost of Google is based on keywords, right? So the more competition, the more expensive it's going to be. The less competition, the cheaper it's going to be. Just like I showed in that example before, that there's usually 3 or 4 companies all bidding on the same keyword depending on where you live. Some of the cities, well, all cities, so your Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, Gold Coast, hot real estate markets, it's a lot of competition. Okay, so it's going to cost us a little bit more money to have our ad shown. However, when we go to the regional towns, smaller cities in Australia, there's generally a lot less competition, so the clicks will be cheaper. That's just a supply and demand thing. However, I would argue that it's all relative, because the people in the cities, you're probably making more commissions, so you can afford to spend more money on marketing. All right, this is a pay-to-play situation. Obviously, the more competitive it is, the more expensive it is. Doesn't mean it doesn't work. Just means the costs will vary and results will vary. That's the beauty about social media. Here's an example of what I see in the back end to kind of give you an idea of kind of breakdowns of what keywords look like. We can see real estate agent, 22,000 searches on average around Australia. Different demographics, this is going to be different, but this is Australia as a whole. Funnily enough, it's actually down 33%, but I would say that's because it's drastically down in some areas and down less in other areas. I wouldn't pay too much attention to that part there. What we can pay attention to is the low range and the high range of what it costs to get you on the first page. Again, this is just explain to you guys how Google works, so you can kind of make better choices of where you want to put money in. Then when I kind of talk about keywords to you guys, you kind of understand what I mean. So the word real estate agent in some parts of Australia will cost people as much as $13 to get to the top of Google, whereas some places it might be as cheap as $3.70. Now, I can tell you from experience that this is not the case for a lot of agents. I've got some agents ranking on the first page of Google for 30 cents, sometimes 45 cents. So this is a generalization, but as you can see, the more obscure the keyword, the cheaper it becomes. But then you've got really competitive keywords, and you can see by competition, medium, the real estate agents near me has a top keyword cost of $32, which means a lot of people in some areas of Australia are spending $32 per keyword. Now, that might sound like a lot, but if you take in consideration, if you get that one click that costs you $32, goes to your website and they like what they see, they give you a call and they list their property, that's a $32 conversion to potentially make $20,000 in commission. So it's all relative, and that's my job to find the best keywords that work for you guys. Leave the technical side to me, but that's how you kind of understand the supply and demand of keyword searching. So we're using search keywords to utilize the power of Google to send people to your website. We can do this by suburbs. We can do this by specific keywords. We can also do this by other agencies. I'm doing this for some people in small country towns where I've actually done a big keyword on their competition. So I've gone Ray White suburb, and I've got their ad turning up to the bottom, which works. It sometimes works too well in that I've had agents phone them up and say, hello, is this Ray White? Oh no, this is so-and-so. Oh, sorry, I was getting Ray White. I thought I was clicking Ray White. So we know it works, and we know it can work almost too well. But there's ways we can get you to the front page of Google to get your ad shown and get your brand shown to people that are looking for property. So here's an example here. Best real estate agent, Gympie. We've got them ranking number 2. And we've got their ad getting shown, $11 million sold property in 2021, 18 years selling in Gympie. We've got to contact us and properties for sale, so people can go straight to their website there. So that's kind of how the ads will look. Another one here, this one's just here in Surfers Paradise. I Googled that, and this is the top 4 that come up. You can see local agent finder, open agent. Those two are usually going to be the top in Australia. They're obviously bidding heavily on these, but Sean Burke and Century 21, we can see they are a little bit low, and people are still clicking those ads too, because there will be people that are familiar with Century 21 that click that ad over local agent finder, and they're other people we're trying to get. So that's what we're talking when we talk about keywords in Google search. And again, when you guys do this in your areas, you'll be able to get an assessment of what kind of competition is out there. Another type of ad we can do, and this is only going to be relevant to a few people, is map ads. So for those with offices, if you've got an office space, we can put an ad up to advertise your office space. Okay, so just like you would search taco shop near me, it'll show you all the local taco shops. Real estate agent near me, we can do the same thing. Okay, so you can see here First National has the first ad, JW Prestige has the second ad. We can run this very easily. Look, it's as cheap as $5 a day. It all comes down to competition, how much traffic we want. I was doing this for one of my past clients who had a cafe. We started doing this, and in the first couple of weeks, just a steady stream of customers. High tourist areas, this works as well. If doesn't really work with real estate, but if you've got a business that a lot of people are Googling, trying to find it, this is another really effective ad. But again, for $5 a day, we can get you on the top of Google too. So when someone searches your location, your office front can be there as well. Second type of ad is a banner ad. And I know I'm going quite fast, guys, a lot of things to get through, and I'll do a Q&A. If I miss anything, write down some notes if you've got any questions along the way. But I'm trying to kind of pack as much in to kind of give you guys a run through. So the second type is banner ads. You guys would have seen these natively on websites. We're basically taking out real estate space with Google partners. Most major websites in Australia and the world are Google partners. You probably have seen At Realty ads floating around when you've been browsing the web. We can get your brand on there as well. This is one we're doing for an agent in Brisbane. We can see there, he's got a placement at the top of Yahoo and on the side there. All right, so lots of variations. Another one here, this one I think was news.com, a big banner on the side there. Really cheap too. You can spend as little as $8 to $10 a day and you're getting thousands of impressions. All right, so this is really good for brand awareness, whereas the search ads is really good for website traffic and getting people to go to your website. So I'll explain the difference between the two as I move on, but that's what a banner ad looks like. Some of the websites we can run your ads on, these are real estate related websites, at least what Google determines to be real estate related. News.com, 9 News, Australian Financial Review, Real Estate View, Live.com, Dreamhouse Source, Zillow, Domain, House Plans, Bed Bath & Beyond. There's loads. We can advertise you on any website if you like, okay? For At Realty specifically, we're just doing real estate websites. For your real estate business, if you're in a smaller country town, I would advise we just get you on all websites. So when anyone's searching the web, your banner's popping up. Just depends how much competition there is and what your budget is. A couple of caveats here is that realestate.com, they sell most of their real estate space on their website internally. So you would have heard about real estate ads you can do. I think they're about $500 per month, I think. And that's where you get most of the features from with Real Estate Australia. However, we can actually retarget people once they've been on your website on Real Estate Australia, kind of some bottom banner ads, and the same as Domain. So we can get your ads for much, much cheaper on Real Estate Australia. However, we won't be getting the main placements on property listings. It's more so in the news tabs and some of the lesser browsed websites. But to give you an example, this is where we can have banner ads placed. Another one there, another example to give you an idea of what they look like. So a couple of results for some agents I'm running ads for right now. This is a search campaign. So we spent $6 a day over the last 7 days, for example, on this agent. 101 clicks to his website. So this is someone searching real estate Sandgate, I think was the terminology he was using. This is the ad that got shown. This was the most successful ad. And we can see 3,700 impressions on this ad. Now, what an impression is how many times an ad is shown on someone's screen. So all those ads I was showing you before of the open agent, that's an impression. So this ad has been shown 3,700 times, of which 300 people have clicked the ad and gone through to his website. That's called a click-through rate of 8%. Now, that is freaking huge. That's fantastic. Anything over the 5% is great. It means we're hitting the right people. Now, this is why I love digital marketing, because you can track how many people see your ad, and you're showing an ad specifically to someone who wants to see your ad. If you do a letterbox drop, if you do say 1,000 letterbox drop, how many people are going to be giving you a call and going to your website? Maybe 1%, 2%? We're looking at 8% conversion rates. A shopper docket. If you're doing an ad on a shopper docket, how many people are turning it over? You're probably getting a 0.1% conversion rate, right? So huge conversion rates for people that are actively looking for real estate, and we can track that. And then this ad was a combination of about 6 or 7 different ads, and we can see the combination of those ads over here. Okay, so we only spent $40 in the last 7 days for this, for example, 40 cents a click. So it cost us 40 cents to send someone from Google to his website. Now, we can't track how many people call you because we can't track people's phones, but I can track how many people go to the website, and then that's kind of the best I can do. If the website looks good, if people like what they see, they'll give you a call. Okay, so that's quite important as well, that you've got a great landing page and a website, and I'll go into detail a little bit later in that. Another stat here from another agent. This one agent had an even higher conversion rate at 11% click-through rate, 1,500 impressions. Okay, so the ad was shown 1,500 times and 180 clicks. This ad looks really good. 18 years selling in Gympie, Gympie's #1 real estate team, achieved record prices. Why wouldn't you click that ad if you're looking for a property? Okay, and for $250, they received 180 clicks on their website. That's 180 people that may not have known who they were previously. And then also we can retarget them and follow them around at other parts of their journey as well. This was a regional town in Gympie, so it was much cheaper as well to run ads. So another example there. This is how some ads may look in search. So this is another campaign I'm running for an agent here on the Gold Coast, Upper Coomera. So what we do is we give Google a whole lot of keyword search terms. Okay, so one of this agent's search terms was break your streets record. So we put that in and we can see that Google has used break your streets record, break your streets record. Another one was proud to be a seller's advocate. So we put that in there, and then Google will actually compile all these different keywords to make up the best performing ad. So we can see that there, that was the best performing ad from all the keywords I gave. That was another best performing keyword from all the keywords that I gave Google. Okay, so that's some of the options of how it'll look. Your mobile phone number's there, your contact details are there. All right, so we can customize how the ad looks that way. These are display ads, and again, some results for this. Now, display ads, or banner ads, basically get a lot of impressions. Okay, so we're talking about 46,000 people have seen this display ad, and he had 26 clicks to the website. So much less clicks on these type of ads because, as we all know, we're not always clicking these type of advertisements, but the brand awareness is absolutely huge. I implore you to find a better dollar spend on views, on eyeballs on an ad. 46,000 people, that's like getting a billboard or a bus stop on a highway, and it's probably going to cost you a few $1,000s. This is costing us $5 a day. Super cheap stuff, all right? And again, another example there. The cost per click is a little bit higher because people don't normally click this type of ad. However, it's brand awareness. If you guys are thinking long term and you guys want to be the leading agent in your area, which is what you all should be thinking of, you want to think long term brand awareness. So anytime someone's constantly seeing your face, whether it be on a bus stop, on a for sale sign, online, it's just building that brand awareness, building that trust, so that when they eventually do think about selling, they've seen you, they've seen your face, they're familiar with you, and they'll have a better experience reaching out to you. All right, so that's some examples there. 46,000 impressions, huge stuff. This is a breakdown of a results page that you'll get when you do Google Ads through Realty. Simple breakdown. I know it looks like a lot of jargon, but I'll try and run you through it so it kind of makes a bit more sense. Our spend so far on this was $138. You can see on the right-hand side there. 43% of the time, we were at the top of Google. So Google will actually bid different businesses based on who is paying the most. 43% of the time, we got up the top. So we're not always at the top. And if we want to get at the top, we just increase the ad spend. If we haven't done that yet, I think we're only spending about $4 a day on this particular campaign. So we're not there all the time. However, we are getting 300 clicks to this agent's website with 3,700 impressions. All right, so huge amount of traffic. Looking to the bottom now, we've got the keywords. Now Google will actually show you what keywords we're bidding on and what people are searching on. So we can see the word real estate agent. It was the most common keyword, which he had 103 clicks on, 1,100 impressions. Okay, so that's where the ad's most likely getting shown. Sandgate real estate, Shorncliffe real estate, the agency real estate. We can put all different keywords in there and Google will show us what gets the best click-through rate. We've got Harcourts in there, so sometimes people will Google Harcourts. 10 times people have clicked this agent's profile instead of clicking Harcourts. So we're almost stealing traffic from competition agents and sending it to our website. Okay, so that's kind of the main parts to look at there, and you can see the best performing ad there of this particular month campaign. Okay. So this is the journey, the mindset, I guess, you have to have with Google Ads, right? This is not something you turn on and you get listings straight away. This is a long-term approach. We're trying to get people that are considering real estate. So the awareness, sending cold traffic to your website from Google search. We're then retargeting them. Okay, so we're following them around on different parts of the website to advertise your brand. We're then sending them back to your website when they're ready to proof you and when they're ready to actually call an agent. Then they're going to give you a call. If they like what they speak to you get a good appraisal, you have a good relationship, they trust you, you'll get the listing, and then ultimately get the loyalty to hopefully sell their place 5-10 years down the track. Okay, so this is a long-term strategy. We're not trying to just pick up listings left, right, and center. And I think in this current market right now, we have to think long-term. I know it's hard to get listings right now. It's a pretty tricky situation in Australia right now with lack of listings, but we're doing this for long-term to build your long-term view and to make you guys the leading agent in a long-term strategy. Okay. Another term I want to throw out is SEO. You might have heard this term thrown around by digital marketing people or marketing. It stands for search engine optimization. Basically means your website has to work with Google, and we want your website to be the most searchable that Google can find. So the more information on your topic in your website, the more likely Google is to say, okay, this website is what the person's looking for. We're going to show that to them. Okay, this comes from a whole lot of things, but basically what it means is we want to make sure your website is relevant to what people are searching. So the more relevant your website is, the more likely your ad's going to be shown at the top. So for example, that website, Open Agent, their whole website's been designed for search engine optimization so that whatever someone searches regarding real estate, regarding suburbs, regarding areas, real estate agents, their website has been tailored for that. So kind of leads me on to the next part, which means you guys most likely will need a custom website to make Google Ads work the best we can. I know you guys have web pages, and I'll break those down shortly, but to get the most out of this type of campaign, you might need a custom website. So I'll give you a really kind of bad analogy. If someone searches apples in Google and they're sent to a website that sells oranges, they're not going to like what they say. They're going to hit back. They're going to have to go somewhere else. Google doesn't want that. Google wants people to find exactly what they're looking for. And you guys know when you're searching Google, you want to find exactly what they're looking for. So we want our website to be exactly what that person's looking for. If you're a Newcastle real estate agent and someone's searching best agent in Newcastle and they go to your website, they want to find reviews on people on Newcastle, some news about the Newcastle property market. They want to have testimonials from people. They want to have sold properties from Newcastle. They want to have as much relevant information so that person stays on the website. Now, Google is an absolute data hub. They know how long people stay on the website for, how long they stay on each page for, how many times they skip, if they leave your page fast. So if someone goes to your website, they have a quick scroll and they click back already, Google will know, okay, this website isn't what someone wants. And so it's a lower search ranking. Okay, sometimes you'll always see agent websites are at the very top. It means they've got great search engine optimization and the website has enough information for them to stay on the website for a long time. I know it sounds a little bit confusing, but it's just kind of worth keeping in your mind of why websites are still important. I understand in your back of your mind, you're probably thinking, well, I've come this far without a website, and that's fine. If you can get by without using a website, that's great. We're talking about Google, which is sending traffic to your website. So, we want to have that landing page as strong as it can be. So the two options you guys have are web page and website. When you join At Realty, you obviously get a free web page. Looks like this. Nothing wrong with it. It's a great site. It's got a little bit of information about you. It's got your call details, a little bio, and your sold and current listings. Now, the problem with this is it's not tailored to you, okay? It's for the At Realty brand. So from a search engine point of view, it's got a lot of other information, commercial, experts, tips and advice, buying, renting, a whole lot of stuff that people aren't going to be wanting to search, and they specifically search for you. So on the contrary to that, if you've got your own website, it's customized to you. We can have it about your suburb, about your area, and we can have it a bit more information about specifically your area. So when we send traffic to Google, there's more information there. I hope that kind of all makes sense. So kind of the pros and cons of them both. Yes, we can run ads if you've just got the agent website, which is fine. We can't do banner ads because we can't retarget people off the At Realty site. You need your own custom website for that. Sold and current listings, yes, they're on the At Realty site, yes, on a custom website, but the custom landing page, we can't custom make the At Realty website, and we can't really optimize your website for Google as well. With a custom website, we can do all that. I don't mean to this to sound like a sales pitch. It just kind of, I know a lot of agents don't have a custom website, and for this to work properly, it's best to have a custom website. So look, At Realty does have a third-party company they work with for development. $385 for a setup and a $55 a month hosting. Look, that's a really good deal. I've got businesses I've set up web pages for and spent thousands on web pages. The hosting's about the same, $45 to $55. It's kind of what you pay. If you've got a son or a kid that knows web design, sure, pay him, great, but there's an option that look great. The websites are ready to go. You get two really nice templates there we can customize for you. I think we're actually outsourcing that now, but we can kind of work with you to set that website up. So don't stress, there is a way you can get a website set up. It's through Launchpad. Contact us, we can help you set it up. Anyway, going back to Google Ads, there's a few ways you can set up Google Ads, and I'm only really talking about search and banner ads right now. There's a whole lot of other things we can do, but we're just focusing on search ads and banner ads right now. You can do it yourself, and by all means, if you're tech savvy and have the time, by all means, and do that. There's a lot of great tutorials on YouTube for that. You just go to google.com/ads, follow the prompts. You should be able to use your @realty email or set up a Google email, add your payment details, click the plus symbol, and just create a new campaign. It is a little bit complicated, so I would probably advise to, if you're tech savvy, by all means, try and do it. If not, the second option is obviously to use us. We don't charge anything for it. It's just a $99 setup fee, and then you just pay for your ad spend after that. All you need to do with us is you just tell us the postcode you work in, what type of ad you will like, and then kind of we'll manage the ad on your behalf. We'll then send you a report every month. We do ask that you do it for a minimum of 2 months because it does take a bit of work and it's a bit of time for Google to optimize, and you can cancel anytime after that. So there's no contracts. What we're doing, we're just trying to offer the best service for you guys. The third option is a marketing agency. So I used to work for a marketing agency and I've had my own. Specifically for you guys, you would want what's called a PPC agency, which stands for pay per click, which means they basically provide clicks to your website. Anywhere from $500 to $4,000 a month, depending on the budget and the agency. It's common for them to have 6-month contracts, and they've usually got limited options for real estate agents, unless you find one that's specifically real estate agent related. I used to work for an agency, and I'd charge my clients $2,500 per month to run their campaigns plus ad spend. So it's quite lucrative with the right businesses. But this is kind of what you're getting. You're getting the same agency details, except you're getting it from me. So that are kind of the options if you wanted to do Google Ads. Here's the breakdowns of costs for us. So both a $99 setup fee is a once-off fee for us to set it up. We ask for a minimum of $250 ad spend. Now this just goes directly to Google. Okay, so you pay us, we pay Google. We don't take any money in between. $250 basically works out to be about $8 a day. And that gives Google enough money to spend, right? So if you're in an area that gets lots and lots of competition, then it's going to cost us, maybe up to $1, $1.10 to have your ad shown. At $8 a day, that's only 8 clicks you're going to get a day. It's going to be hopefully less than that, but we need enough budget there to allocate enough traffic to your website. As you've seen from the examples, we're getting clicks as low as 30, 40 cents, but there needs to be a bit of a budget. And look, if you think about $8 a day, you probably spend that on coffee, all right? So just imagine you're spending coffee on your business and it's a set and forget thing. The best way to think about this is the next listing you get, take $3,000 or $4,000 from that commission, put it aside and say, that's my Google Ads budget for the whole year. Just sunken cost, let it go. Let us do our work, and then look for 12 months and build your online presence. And I guarantee you'll start getting phone calls from it, all right? It's not something that's gonna happen straight away, but it's a long-term strategy. That's why we say minimum 2 months. And again, there's no management fees for this. We run this on basically your behalf because we want you guys to be the best you can. All right, so that's kind of the end of kind of what I wanted to talk about. I know I'm kind of rushing through this, trying to give you guys a general sense of what we're talking about and kind of what I mean with Google Ads. So I'm going to flick across to comments. I'm sure you guys have many questions. I'll kind of try to run through any questions here in the chat, but if you guys do want to put any questions, pop them in the chat now and I'll try and answer any questions now. How do we organize it? Yep, great question. So email the email on your screen. Send us an email. Tell me the area you're in, what type of ads you're thinking about doing, and then I'll kind of go back and forth with you to work out some details. I then send you a Google form, which has got some more questions. Fill that out. That tells me all the information I need to know about you guys. And once you pay the invoice for ad spend, we can get you set up. It takes about kind of half a day to set up, so there will be a bit of a backlog with this type of thing. There's a bit of time needed to set this up, but yeah, I can get this set up for you quite soon.